Okay, so that's a whole platform of vehicles, last mile vehicles, right?
Talking about last mile vehicles, last mile distribution.
Last mile vehicles. Like that's the whole idea of them, right? So
Correct.
You're in a short distance. You've rode a one wheel, right?
I have attempted to ride a one wheel. Yes.
Okay. Is it
before my 50th birthday? Now,
do you think so? Obviously, the main ones I see are like electric skateboards, electric scooters, and Bird and all that thing that seems to kind of fallen off. At least in India, I don't really see them that much anymore. Bicycles, either electric or non. What if you had to pick one for the rest, like to get from home to the office downtown? What would be your would still be a bike, or would you do something different?
No, probably a bicycle, or I'm not a motorcycle guy. I think motorcycles are cool. I just most likely will never own one.
I would kill myself on one.
Yeah,
there's no, I can't.
But if there's the Tesla of either a motorcycle or, dare I say, a moped, and date myself, but a scooter of some sort,
like a Vespa,
maybe. That's
like cooler,
electric, cooler, right? Just to go from point A to point, like to the office and back. Yeah,
that little go kart, the Lamborghini go kart.
Ooh, I'd probably kill myself doing that too.
Probably, but
that would be,
you'd look good doing
that.
That
would be badass. So,
Super 73. These are one of the ones.
That's pretty cool.
If I live downtown, this is what I would have. Those are cool.
Around the same. Well, it's a little bit more expensive than the Lamborghini go kart.
Has a lot more range.
What is the range on that? Does it say?
It's like 30 miles or something. Or 20.
That's perfect. That's great.
Yeah, 40 miles.
Oh, yeah. Perfect. What's top speed? 20 plus?
20 plus, yeah.
All right.
And it has a full throttle, so like you can do pedal assist to go above 20, and then.
Why would I do that?
I don't know. Yeah, if I lived in like Chicago, San Francisco, downtown Indy, in a major metropolitan area, that's what I would have.
Now the question, so if you know where our office is downtown, if I'm riding from my house downtown, do I go on the streets or do I go on the Monon with that?
I think it would be illegal, the Monon.
Technically, you can't ride it on the Monon because it would be whatever vehicle, electric vehicle on it. So you'd be on the streets.
What if I'm pedaling?
Well, they'd have to catch you.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, if I didn't have 2 college tuitions to deal with, I might consider that.
I mean, save money on gas.
Yeah. Yeah. If our attorney or insurance folks are watching this, they're like, no, do not.
Don't do
that. Oh, well.
Think of the environment.
This is true. True.
Do your part.
Well, yeah, I'll think about that one. Stay tuned, folks. It may never happen. If we get one of those,
it's gonna
be you, not me, and then we'll do an episode to highlight that. And
I'm in.
Yeah,
black and yellow.
Yeah,
just they'll take the Sonos Move, put it on the bottom. We'll just blast that while we ride around.
Yeah, this is going downhill fast.
I like it.
Is this thing on? All right, kids. Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Summits Podcast. We appreciate you guys tuning in from wherever you get your podcasts. For those of you guys watching on the Heroes Foundation YouTube channel, 1, thank you. Number 2, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. It's absolutely free. It will not cost you nearly as much as that electric scooter. So we'd appreciate if you did that. Today, we're going to do a little recap. 2022, the year of the deuce, as we called it.
Some called it.
Some being me. We're going to do a little recap of all kinds of aspects of what Heroes did, what the podcast did in 22. If you were with us the entire year, awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
For those of you who are maybe new to the podcast, welcome. And let's get rolling.
Did you get fed or pop up any of the other year in review type things? Like, I know Spotify does it. My podcast app that I do says how many hours you listen to. Did you do
no.
anything like that? Okay.
No.
It's kind of cool.
I just killed that. I can't say that I have, no.
No? That's I think is it's becoming more popular. So we're trying to take what we did here and bring that up and talk
Right.
about everything I did, surmise it, and talk
Well,
through it. So
well,
we did last year.
Producer
Keep it
Chris
going.
pulled up some interesting analytics for us quickly as we were
Yeah.
talking about our episode prep and showing my true age. Half of the stuff I didn't quite understand, but it's interesting. I mean, some episodes did phenomenally well, and some of the shorts, like little promos that we put out there,
Yep.
were off the charts. There's one from Purdue, which, much to my dismay, is our top viewing short.
It's great.
But
It's perfect.
Hey, boiler up for that. You're welcome. And then there were other episodes that just didn't seem to take off for whatever reason, which is a little surprising. But hey, it is what it is, and we're learning from it. I will say, any of you out there who, I'll say this now, and I'll probably say it again at the end, throw out in the comments, you guys have ideas for guests. If there's something that we should do to improve the podcast, let us know. We are not
we're
experts
open. Yeah, we're
by
open
any
to
means.
feedback. Tell us. We know we're not perfect. We'll
That's right.
Take any input we can get. So one cool stat, right? Like lifetime views on the YouTube channel itself, we are almost to 15,000 lifetime views, which I think is pretty cool. The last 365 days, so basically the last year, 5,325. I don't have a great way to see all of 2021, but there's some cool stats there. I mean, we've got quite a bit of views. I think the shorts is interesting. I think we're going to play some more with that this year. Definitely from a YouTube algorithm standpoint, they're really pushing those, and I think we can have some fun with them, especially if we get a scooter.
Well, something I just thought about was, so for those of you who will be attending An Evening with Heroes Gala that's coming up soon.
Very soon.
Wait, when is this going out?
Next week.
Next week.
Okay, so we're ahead of the gala.
Yeah.
Almost botched that one. For those of you who will be in attendance at the gala this year, look for the Summits podcast booth, I guess if you will call it.
Come share your story.
That could be some great short material there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And you'll make yourself,
You can become YouTube famous
or infamous.
or infamous. We'll try and make sure we keep those on the cutting room floor.
Right.
One interesting stat, which I don't think you can see, Daniel, is for the past 365 days, the impressions, right? So eyeballs on any content within the Heroes channel is 43,000.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool.
So that
So that means that's not just people watching it, but that's it being served up on the side.
Correct.
Where you're
suggestions
watching
in
your
search
videos
bars.
on YouTube and stuff. Yeah, okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So we need to get that over 100,000 this year.
Let's do it.
Okay, we got to make more shorts.
So last year was the year of the Deuce. This year it's might be my personal mantra, because I know you don't like the Deuce, but we're going
Deuce
we're
trace?
going LFG and 23. How's
Okay,
that?
all right. I'm on
that?
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
on board with that one. I thought it was going to be the Deuce Trace, and I was going to still be out. So okay,
No, that's a, yeah.
no, that's not
That's only
it.
after Mexican.
All right.
You're welcome. I'll be here all day.
I like the LFG in 23. I'm on board with that one.
All right,
Okay.
cool.
All right.
Hashtag that.
Yep. Can add that to our shorts.
There you go.
Perfect. Is that already trending? I guess we should find out. That'll be some homework for us to find out.
Well, so speaking of the gala, let's backtrack. So the 22 gala was we were back live because 21 we were remote due to the vid, and so we're back live in 22. Hell of an event.
It was awesome. It was great to be back.
Live auction did phenomenally well. We had some, that's one of those things where it could be hit or miss, and a lot of it just depends on who's in the room.
Yeah. Live auction.
Even
this
I
year?
got surprised in that there were a couple of items I guess we had not backups, but had multiple of that I didn't even know about, which is fine. And there are a few things I remember from that night. The ones that I can mention were the bourbon package.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I don't know if I think it was Harry was running around the room. This is the auctioneer for anybody who's not been. And he points, what I thought he was pointing at me, saying, "We have a second one, right?" And I was just like, don't think so. And he's like, "Yes, we have a second one." I was like, not realizing Cindy was like in line directly
right
behind
behind you.
me. and they had already conversed and knew about it, and then they sold the second one. I think they sold. Let's say it sold 2 of those.
2 of those.
Anyway, and then 3 of the Italy trip. Like that.
Italy trip was the other one.
That was awesome. Unbelievable. It was awesome. That doesn't happen every year for sure.
Yeah. Is there a live auction this year?
So we'll have a live auction this year.
I'm excited.
Of course. Yeah. I'm excited for 23. Numbers look phenomenal. Partnerships for the year and as a whole, but also for the gala are ahead of, well, they've set new records, I should say. So
before we've even shown up.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
We're excited about that.
Yeah.
But last year's was great. It's a good time. I don't know. I mean, it's been a year, so my memory sucks. But overall, it was a great time. I mean, again,
I had a good blast.
We tried to have fun. It's got to have a lot of structure to it these days, but it's also try to have a lot of fun.
Yeah. It's a good event.
Yeah.
You get to dress up. It's one time a year I dress up, right?
Right.
And
this year we're dressing up, but we're also bringing some heat with the kicks.
Yep. I like it. Much more comfortable that way.
Yeah.
So much better.
If you have time, and I don't know StockX or wherever the GOAT, whatever could turn these around, but take a look at Daniel's kicks.
Sure.
He'll be sporting these at the gala. And
I'll throw them up.
if you're coming and you don't have some of these yet, those bad boys, those are Heroes colors. He might say they're boiler colors, but it's all good.
It's dual purpose, so
Right.
I'm okay with it. It's great.
Yeah.
Heroes first. Obviously.
Those are the Jordan
taxis.
Yeah, the Jordan 1 Lowe's Taxi is the model.
And they have Jordan.
name,
If you're a high top person, I know there's a couple people that I know that's high tops only. There is a high top version as well.
Go.
So
Sweet.
if you're a high topper, you can join in the fun as well.
Right. I guess clicking on the events of 22 real quick, we can kind of fly through some of those. So we had the gala, was great, awesome, set new records there. Then we went on to Fit for Heroes. A little bit later in the year than typical, and so we had a few challenges there, but overall performed probably, I would say, pretty decent.
Yep.
That event, as we've talked about, you guys have probably all heard me talk about, it has massive potential, not just here in Indy, but some of the vision stuff that we're working on for that is really taking that thing statewide. Mm-hmm. And so towards the end of 2022, we made a new hire, Mr. Scott Mingle, who you guys have probably seen the episode of, has come on board as a program and event manager to help take that event as well as our Project Militia program and some other things, and really kind of get his arms around those, hone them in, and boost them towards the vision that we have for him. So I'm excited about that.
I'm excited to see what he does with it. He's got a good background. He's got a good head on his shoulders to figure that out.
Yep. I know he's already been working hard going into the 23 event. We've got some things working. In fact, I've got to have a conversation later this morning with some folks on that. So excited about the potential there. So stay tuned.
Yeah.
And then we went into wine tasting with Peachy. That was back live, having done it previously in a virtual environment, or I think it was hybrid. I can't remember.
Virtual. Then it was virtual only with very small group, and then it became hybrid, and then back to
live last year.
Yep.
Yeah, and we went to a new venue, larger venue. By all accounts, did really well.
Yep.
I was there. A lot of artwork to check out. It was pretty well attended.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say it was the largest attendance that we've had to date, but don't quote me on that. But I think that was accurate. So
I mean, it was in a good sized venue, and it was full. It was cool. Yeah.
So a lot of funds raised there for the Peachy Fund for breast cancer, and then we swung into Swing for Heroes. See what I did there?
I like it.
Cool thing about Swing for Heroes was we sold out way in advance.
At what time?
Way further than normal. And the cool, well, there are two aspects of that was cool. One, just selling out, and then two, we actually had expanded the event.
Yep.
And so, selling out wasn't really even on the radar per se, but expanding it to two different shotgun tee times, almost, I wouldn't say doubling the size of the event, but pretty close.
Pretty close, yeah.
And to sell it out that far in advance was awesome. And so, coincidentally, and I'm not complaining, I'm shocked. I appreciate all of you who have gotten involved with it. As of January 13th of this taping, and will air next week, We literally only have, it's either 2 or 3 foursomes. I think it's 3 foursomes left, maybe.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So, really excited about that.
Yep.
Thank you all for supporting that one.
I like the split format because I got to play twice. I played in the morning and I played in the afternoon with 2 different sets of teams, competitive team and a fun team. So,
not to go down that rabbit hole, but was it competitive in the morning because we were still completely sober, and less competitive in the afternoon because maybe
I can't share those details.
You had partnered with Tito's.
Yeah. Well, I can't.
At that point,
I can't say really, honestly.
I mean, our partnership with Tito's is very
very
special.
strong.
Yeah,
yes,
it's strong.
Yeah, very strong.
And then last but not least, we rolled into the PIF party, which was at the end of the year in 22. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it this year.
You weren't there.
Yeah. Long story. I had a work thing that came up that I could not avoid, and that it was not to go down that path, but I had work called, and I had to be out of town for that, and so unfortunately couldn't make it. Entertainment was phenomenal.
Yeah, it was great.
Brett and Clayton rocked it, from what I understand. They did a collab song, I guess.
Yeah.
And those of you guys that were there.
We left early, so we had little ones at home,
Right.
and I'm bummed that I missed what how everyone's told me. It's like it was really awesome. It's like, oh man. Now,
So
the rest of it was cool too, but that would have been sweet to see them up there together.
For sure. 2023's iteration of PIF Party, I believe we're moving back to May at the Vogue again in Broad Ripple, so stay tuned for more details on that. I'm excited to hit that one, and hopefully I'll be there this year.
Yeah.
But
do we need to put it on your calendar now so that way?
well, possibly, but like the thing that popped up in 22,
Yeah,
like
it
even
was unavoidable.
PIF Party was on my calendar, and
Yeah.
it didn't matter.
Yeah.
This
Yep.
duty called. So I'm looking forward to that. Put that on your calendar, like especially all you younger fans out there. Not that it matters who's there, but this is definitely an event that if you're in your 20 or 30 somethings, have never been to a Heroes event, want to start off with one, great, easy way of doing that. Learn more about the foundation and kind of, dip your toe in and let's roll.
Yep. It's a lot of fun.
You have a list of questions or topics before we go into like programs. Let's hit a couple other questions or stats here.
Okay. Let's hit a couple of questions we have. We're focusing, kind of shifting over back to the podcast, what we're doing right now, right? Overarching throughout the year, bringing on guests and doing we did some traveling. We had some different events that we had. We always, filling these in between the different events at Heroes that has, and we're trying to get things to tie into each other. So there's a lot that happens every year in this room and whenever we travel. So what was your most memorable, either podcast event, podcast guest, however you want to decipher that?
Two things stick out to me right now as we were kind of talking about this beforehand, about the Summits podcast in 22. First of all, it's a sophomore season, right?
Yep.
So we didn't want to do the sophomore slump, and I think we avoided that, which I'm proud of our team for that, and proud of the fact that we're rolling into 23. LFG in 23, we're
ready to go,
focused and ready to roll and take it up a notch. Again, so if you guys have any ideas, thoughts, bring it.
Yep.
The road trip I thought was cool.
Yeah.
On a couple different things. One, it's just fun to do.
Yep.
So when we reference road trip, guys, we're talking about and you guys saw the episodes, or if you haven't, you can go back and check them out. We went to Purdue and did a couple of interviews there, and then we went up to Notre Dame and did 3 interviews there. And the reason why we did those is because we have done some gifting, or if you want to call it investments in research that are happening at Purdue University and the University of Notre Dame.
Yep.
And I'll be free to admit, before all this went down, if someone said, well, where all is cancer research being done in the state of Indiana? Naturally, I would have said, well, the IU School of Medicine and the Simon Comprehensive Cancer Center. But maybe what I didn't realize is Purdue University and the University of Notre Dame are also doing cancer research on campus at those universities. And so as we learn more about what they're doing up there and made investments in some projects at each of those institutions, it just I don't know, the light bulb came on, and it's not a new thought, as I've learned. I mean, many others have been working on this for years, but wow, we have 3 major universities in the state of Indiana, and probably more. I'm not trying to bypass any other schools we have in the state, but who are doing great work. And that's important to us because we are an Indiana organization focusing on the state of Indiana and the Indiana cancer community. And then how can we collaborate?
Yeah.
Either us with them or getting all 3 together, and some of that is already being done. So it's not a new question or a new theory by any means. So I'm just excited. And then what is I guess been an end result of this is not only us establish a better relationship with each of those schools, but also looking at some strategery, if you will, with Fit for Heroes and stuff, and taking things and having a vision of making them a statewide program or a statewide event that all these research institutions, if you will, can benefit from. And so it's not a matter of establishing that relationship, because that's been established now, but now it's growing it and
it's engaging and growing it and figuring out how to continue to be involved.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about it. It's, Scott's got a lot of work ahead of him on the Fit for Heroes side, but overall, I think everyone's genuinely excited about what we can all do together.
Yeah. Yep.
That's what it's just cool. So doing those interviews at each of those places, I don't have any affiliation with either of them. We can all joke about, because I'm an IU guy, and joke about the IU Purdue rivalry, whatever. But as we said multiple times up there, whether on air or in private, cancer doesn't give a crap. Cancer doesn't care if you went to IU or Purdue or Notre Dame or Ball State or Butler or whatever.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. So we're all in this together as Hoosiers, and I'm excited about it. I thought the interviews went well.
Yep.
Learned a lot.
Oh yeah.
Met a couple Purdue basketball players who were on the men's team.
We did 3 at Purdue also.
Yes, we did.
Right. I keep
So met a couple basketball players just shooting around. So we were kind of jabbing a little bit.
Yep.
And then met Katie Geralds. Katie's awesome.
Yeah.
We probably had some interesting comments off camera than we did on, which would have been funny if we had recorded those. But
that's where we got to start doing those shorts, man. That's some good content there.
She's cool. And want to thank my buddy Ethan Braden for not only doing the episode, but helping us coordinate some stuff up there. I'll be hitting you up again here soon, Ethan. So stay tuned for that. And then Notre Dame was cool.
Yeah.
We learned a lot more about the Harper Cancer Research Institute with the docs there. They've been good partners already. And that trip, beyond just the podcast episodes we did, the morning after development meeting that we talked about, kind of helped not to set the stage, but got the ball rolling in terms of that vision, that idea about increasing the scope of Fit and whatnot up there. So there's a lot of work to be done, but looking forward to what all gets accomplished in 23 and how to kind of really get that snowball rolling like we did 23 years ago with the foundation in general. So I don't know if that answered your question. The road trip was cool. I want to do more of those. Maybe we can do one a year.
Yep. One thing I liked about that was, especially in something that we've been talking about, but it was seeing where the dollars went and seeing the equipment. We literally got to see the equipment that the Heroes donation purchased to allow them to do things. And so meeting some of the researchers that were in the lab at Notre Dame was really cool for me. I like that stuff, get a little nerd out on it. And
I made a flux capacitor joke and no one laughed. It was like crickets. Yeah.
Killed it.
That's why I'm not an academic, folks.
So that was really cool. I enjoyed the road trip as well. That for me, I think that was my most memorable thing. We 6 podcasts in 2 days. We got a lot accomplished. We met some really cool people, and I think I know for you, it helped kind of drive home that idea of, okay, we're an Indiana organization. We're working, and there's a lot going on here, and we can continue to tell those stories and share what we're doing and how we're doing it. So I really enjoyed that.
Cool. But you had asked, were there any episodes
aside from
any episodes that really stood out?
Yep.
I mean, I don't want to play favorites by any means, and it's not really necessarily a favorite. I think there's several episodes that popped out. I mean, this is all about people coming on and telling or sharing their cancer story. And as we've talked about before, like everybody has a cancer story, whether it's them personally or someone that's close to them. A lot of good stories told from some people who are a little more well-known in the public light to people that you or I might know, but not everyone else. Just a lot of good stories shared. I mean, a lot of the stuff we did in studio, we had a couple off-site ones, aside from the road trip, and those are always fun too. I don't know. I'm not sure one really sticks out more so than the others, because my memory sucks. I remember some of the more recent ones better. As you're scrolling through,
just kind of
reestablishing some conversation with Kristen was fun. I hadn't talked to her in, a long time.
Yeah.
She's great. So her story is, kind of reminisced about when Stuart Scott was here in town, and so that was great. Kristen's awesome. More recently, Scott Pollard, who, I had to miss that episode, but he was fun. Had a lot of good off conversation, and we've done some messaging, especially when they kicked IU's ass in Kansas. So we had some good stories there. Gary Brackett was great. He and I have known each other for a few years. It was good catching up with him. Scott Dunstan out of Charlotte. Scott is just, I don't know, how do I describe Scott? Just one of the most genuine dudes you'll ever meet. And it's not the whole Southern charm BS, legit one of the most genuine dudes you'll ever meet. And Jenny Larner, who I knew in high school, hadn't seen or talked to in years, coming back and sharing her story was quite impactful. I don't want to single a couple out versus everybody else. I mean, there's just a lot of good stuff.
Yeah. I think overall the thing for me was, like you talked about, is second year of doing this, and
I should say Jenny Brown. Sorry,
Jenny Brown.
Lerner's her maiden name.
But we kept the momentum going. We didn't really slow down. We found new ways to do different things. We're continuing to improve things. So I think just overall, just continuing to do what we've been doing and getting better at it, and trying to get better at it, and continue to find guests and talk. Sharing stories. That's one thing that's always interesting after the thing. I think that's the piece for me that's always been big, is afterwards, whether it's on camera or not, the conversation we have afterwards. Sometimes they've never shared their story in whole like that before, or it's been a minute since they've talked about it, and just then guests talking about how they watched other episodes, and people talking to people that, this is a platform for people to share their stories. So I think that for overarching continues to be a very memorable and impactful thing for me. It's just, being here to help people do that. Yeah.
I think we also learned almost as much off camera as we did on. So another one that pops out, Dr. Lau at Purdue.
Yep.
We were talking before we started recording, never would have guessed that, about his whole college basketball background and high school basketball background.
Yeah.
Obviously in the state of Indiana, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Just wouldn't have guessed that.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
It is what it is.
Let's see. I think I have another question or two here. I know we have a very extensive list for this, but for LFG in 23, who is a dream guest?
So, it's hard to come up with one. I have sent. And look, folks, if there's a better way of doing this, I'm all ears. Let me know. I realize you have your, it's gonna sound bad, your A list, your dream list, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
People that I don't know, people who are celebrities, and the odds of even getting in front of them are slim and none. You go on their social. Either their Twitter account, Instagram, whatever. Is it sliding in the DMs? Is that what they call it?
Well, yes, but
okay, well, whatever it's
that
called,
has some connotations to it. That
I try to message them, assuming they even get it. They probably get a bazillion of them, so they've got it filtered now. Or some of them got smart and just not even allow that to be an option.
Yeah.
But I have tried to message several and just say, hey, would you be open to being a guest on our podcast? Here's what it's all about. If you want to have one of your reps or whoever contact me, happy to answer any questions, give more information. Most of the times, I never get a response.
Yeah.
But I've done it with several. I can think of. So there's two people that stand out right now that not only are A-listers, but I know for a fact have a legit cancer story, and would be a great guest. Mm-hmm. So sorry, Indy, but Tom Brady would be great.
Yeah.
Tom, his family has been hit by cancer. Tom does podcasts himself. I think he would be certainly a great guest. Let's see. Oh, Erin Andrews. I recently sent a thing to her. She is a cancer survivor, also a podcaster.
Mm-hmm.
So I think she would be a great story to tell. And those are just two. Like I could list.
I know.
20 plus.
I know.
Easy.
We got this question kind of thrown up right as we were before. My brain's still been going through.
Now,
who do I
if
pick?
you want to come,
yeah,
come off the A list who doesn't live here, and some of these you could argue they're still A-listers, but they're more local.
Yeah.
If we, folks, Indianapolis or Indiana in general is two ways back to Kevin Bacon. Or they said New York City it's seven ways back to Kevin Bacon. Indy it's 2.
Yep.
That's good and bad. In this case, it's positive. Like Roger Penske, I think would be phenomenal.
Yep.
So if you don't know who Roger Penske is, Google him. I think most of you probably do.
Yep.
Now owner of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, or his companies are. He would be a great guest, fellow Fiji, not at IU. I think he went to Michigan. But he would be a great guest. I could probably list 20 around here that would be great guests. So if anybody has a good connection to Roger, Dave first, if you're watching, you want to help us out there, it'd be great. Dave would be a great guest. Doug Bowles would be a great guest. I've just kind of siloed the Indy 500 or IMS there. Jim Irsay would be an interesting guest.
He would. I mean, he's just up the street from the studio.
Right.
We can just go,
Jim,
knock on his gate.
If you want us to come to your house and do it there, we're happy to do it there.
Yeah, we'll make it happen.
Could do that.
Yep.
We could do it
right around the corner.
That would be interesting. Pete Ward. Pete. I don't know if Pete would like to do this or not. He'd be a hell of a guest. That guy's got stories out there. You know what? That'd be fun. Pat McAfee. I mean, I know Pat's super hot right now, and there's a lot of people probably trying to get him to do a whole lot of things. Yep. But this is local, Pat. If you want to do,
swing on by.
In fact, you know what? Bring your bride, because I know what she is doing in the animal cancer space, and that would be a great story to tell.
Yep.
So anyway,
I think the list. I know the list is never ending, really.
Right.
And we literally have an Excel spreadsheet with hundreds of guests on it, I think, at this point. So, in that vein, who is a guest that's been on the podcast already that we'd like to bring back to talk to again?
Wow.
Because a lot of these, there's updates, there's changes, there's follow up. They're just good people to talk to in general. I'd love to talk to them again.
Right. So, I mean, I can think of a couple. One would be Lindy Thaxton, who, when we first did our first episode with her, it was much closer to her battle, and Lindy has been kind enough to partner with us on the 2023 An Evening with Heroes Gala. So it'd be great to have her come back in and talk about where things are today.
Yeah.
So I think she stands out to me as a guest who I think would be interesting to do a follow up with for sure.
And she was one of the first 5 guests that we had. It's been a little over a year ago, so be a good one to circle back to.
I think if Sean, here's what would be cool with Sean Swarner, if he does Everest, which I'd have to go back and check. Don't quote me on this. I think that's in his plans, but I could be wrong. If he could do that, and we did a remote episode, us here and him there, that could be pretty freaking cool.
He was one on my list that I'd like to catch up, because right before when we were doing the podcast interview with him was right before he was going to do his next Kilimanjaro trip. Right. So just get an update of what happened, how'd it go. That's still something that I think about pretty regularly.
Yeah, for sure.
I was just talking about that with someone the other day. I was like, oh yeah, I met this person who does a Kilimanjaro thing every year. I was like, sounds like it'd be kind of cool to do.
You're not talking me into doing that.
Come on. We can get the breathing training mat. I had a guy that I worked with a few years ago that he got all the apparel and trained, and he went and did Kilimanjaro, brought back a whole bunch of pictures and cool stuff. It'd be fun.
Yeah. It'd be fun, they said.
It'd be fun. Be fine. Yeah. We could do the one we drive up Mount St.
I
Helens,
know a buddy who he's also got a good cancer story. We should have him on, but a buddy who went and did Kilimanjaro, and they did not have the best experience.
Okay.
And I've not talked to him specifically about that. And he may, in hindsight, look back and say, yeah, here's 3 things that we did that we should not have done that contributed to the issue. But yeah, they did not have a great experience.
Okay.
But
well,
is he in the minority? Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't
Who
know.
knows? Maybe he didn't have Sean as a guide. Maybe.
I will say this: if I were to do it, I'm doing it with Sean.
Yeah,
a guy who's done it more than a dozen times and has a plan and a process.
Yeah.
And 100%.
Yeah. I think that's something that would be fun to do.
Yeah,
for sure.
And he's someone who is going to get in my face and call me a, you know what, if I'm like complaining or like I'm out or whatever. Like, yeah.
Let's see. Let's talk. Should we move talking to programs?
Yeah. Where do you want to start?
Well,
mix up the bag, pull one out.
Yeah. So I know. Obviously, with hiring of Scott, right? Project Militia. Do we have any ideas on what that's going to look like in 23? What's going on there?
Scott's working on I'll call it a business plan, for lack of a better term, for really kind of. I said, if you take that program and literally blow it up, start from scratch, what does that look like? Everything from starting with, okay, what do we want to accomplish?
Can we blow up the truck?
What do you want it to be? I said everything. Hey, everything is fair game.
I might have to talk to Scott.
For those of you who know about Hero 1, it's an old retired Army truck that we have. Unfortunately, has not been utilized as much as it should be. And so the question is, like, do we keep it or do we get rid of it? I don't know. I'm open to whatever makes the most sense.
Yeah.
If that means selling it, then let's get her sold. So he's going to start working on that, and I would like to see things advance in 23 with that program for sure. So really, the whole impetus of that Project Militia is really what a militia is. So it's a band of people getting together and working towards a common cause, and so it's really kind of our avenue for educating the public, educating the community about cancer prevention. How you do that, there's a multitude of ways, and so that's going to be one of Scott's challenges, is figuring out, okay, what does that plan look like? How do we go out in the community and do that?
Yeah.
Both at companies, at schools, in terms of in general. Team Heroes has been a good component of that. I know he has met with them and talking about other ways outside when they're at races, aside from just racing, what other things components of the Heroes flags, if you will, that they can carry. That's all kind of all packaged together. So some interesting and exciting things to come there. And then that stuff will then also kind of tie into Fit for Heroes as well.
Yep.
So it just made sense for him to manage both.
Yep. Well, on that vein, obviously, Fit for Heroes is an event, but it ties into a couple different programs from that standpoint. So anything we can do to tie more together and get more, especially with the format we're trying to create with Fit, getting more of the community involved and a bigger group of people, I think those two work really well together.
Yeah. So. I think one big piece of that is going to be companies. So companies have talked about how do we get our employees more involved in the organization. If we buy a table at the gala, it's only 10 seats, but I have 200 employees. That's great. Fit for Heroes is a great way to do that. As an employer, I know that our health, and same with you, healthcare costs are crazy. So if we can get, just as one step in this direction, we can get more of our employees to join our team in Fit for Heroes, and their campaign is centered around whatever physical activity they're into. And we're doing that to better ourselves, but at the same time to raise money for the foundation. It's just like it's a triple win. So we just have to really get out there and educate everyone on what this option is, and then go there and then collectively raise a whole bunch of funds, which would be awesome. And then turn around and then we gift those back into the state of Indiana at the institutions we were talking about and whatnot. So I'm excited about the possibilities, the opportunities that lie ahead.
I think Team Joey should have some exciting news this year with a getting a room at the Riley. Is it at Riley?
No, Peyton Manning's children.
Sorry, Peyton
so
Manning's,
we have a themed room that will has now been fully funded and is
Awesome.
in the design stage now. We're coming towards the narrow end of the funnel on that. I'm excited to get that done, and we'll unveil that this year. Team Joey's been great in terms of getting Legos out and really supporting pediatric cancer research, which is sorely underfunded. A couple interesting twists in 22 that will continue in 23 with that was naturally in May as in Indy, which we all love the Indy 500. We did a Lego give and some good I call it friends of the program, some boosters, if you will. Who have some fun cars. We utilize those to I guess accompany a Lego give, and so we had those parked outside Peyton Manning's Children's, and so any families and kids that whether you're well enough to come outside or they were maybe coming in or out with outpatient treatment could check out the cars. We got a couple pictures of these kids sitting in the Lamborghini or McLaren or whatever. I mean,
it was awesome.
Massive smile, like shit.
I know.
At the time, I was 49 years old. I had a massive smile too.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of fun. And then that instance gave way or made way for the Horsepower for Heroes. Yep. Kind of I guess I'll call it an event because that's what it is, but it's not one of our core events. But it's a fun way for folks who have these toys, these cars, to give an excuse to go out.
Yep.
They're looking for more excuses to take them out and drive around, and it's a way to really kind of get the cancer community together for a fun time, a good cause, and these kids that came out to the first Horsepower Heroes in the fall. They were super excited. We had one kid who had just finished his treatment for osteosarcoma, and so he just straight up he was like, I go, what's your dream car? Well, of any of these cars here, he's like, oh, the Lambo. I said, oh yeah. I can't remember how it came up, but something to the effect of like, do you want to take a ride in it? And he looked at me like, are you serious? Like, don't tease me like that. I'm like, no, I'm serious. He's like, of course. So we went out.
Yeah.
And the kid was just like on cloud nine. Like that made me feel great. Like that was so cool. Yeah. So it was a good time. And we'll do, excuse me, at least one of those, if not two. Hopefully doing two, one in the spring and one in the fall in terms of Horsepower for Heroes. Yep. Have a whole bunch more cars there. Kind of make a little community event out of it. Totally family friendly. Yeah. Free to attend. So I'm looking forward to that. And then at the same time, utilizing some of those cars for more Lego gives in 2023. And you'll also, as part of Team Joey, looking at doing some expanded gives this year, aside from just the core pediatric facilities here in Indy. It's also going up to Lutheran and Fort Wayne, two of the hospitals in Chicago, and then I believe the one in Cincinnati as well, and then maybe even Louisville, but not sure yet. But so expanding that reach of pediatric centers where that are treating kids who have been diagnosed with cancer and come from the Hoosier states. So while I mentioned Chicago, Cincy, Louisville, you have Hoosiers going to those centers if they're just better suited geographically or whatever. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So looking forward to that.
You brought up Team Heroes earlier. And I think there's also some exciting stuff going on with that. I know there's a board member that's involved with that. That's going to be doing a pretty big race this year.
Yeah. So in the last probably year or two, or maybe even longer than that, but they've kind of formed a committee or a management committee, if you will, that really manages the team and are great liaisons between the foundation and the team. The team has grown. The team is quite active in a variety of disciplines, which is great to see. And I think one of the folk that you're the guy you're probably referring to is new Heroes Foundation board member Bryce Zeller, and we'll have him on the podcast here soon. Bryce has been very active in terms of not just with the team, but doing with Fit for Heroes, doing this campaign that he uses to help or towards a race that he does in Kansas. It's a long ass mountain bike race. and he's been phenomenal in terms of the funds that he has generated towards his campaign for Fit for Heroes. That in turn is kind of been catalyzed by that race in Kansas. So I know he has some big plans for 23. I hope he hits them, or hope he knocks them out of the park, which I would not bet against. That's for sure.
Yeah, after meeting him, I would. Yeah. SJP.
Yeah, the SJP. So we picked. I don't know if "pick" is the right word, but so the SJP Heroes Cancer Research Fund is a fund that has been established at IU that we put money into each year so that fund grows over time, and then the interest income that fund spins off, we then reinvest into research projects at the IU School of Medicine or IU Simon Comprehensive Cancer Center. And towards the end of 2022, we chose a new project to fund over the next 3 years. And so we will have that researcher on in a podcast in 2023. We were doing our planning the other day.
Yep.
We will have her on to talk about what all she's doing with that project. How are things going so far? What are her goals and all that fun stuff. So stay tuned for that episode. It should be a good one.
And then I think that leads us to the Catherine Peachy Fund.
Yeah, so Catherine Peachy Fund had a great year in 22.
It was great.
Not just in terms of the event, but a lot of the research gifts that have been given out. And I know Stephanie and her team have a lot of big plans for 23, not just, continuing the trend of growing the wine tasting event, which is a good one, but also looking at additional ways of funding breast cancer research being done here in Indiana. So I guess we'll see what 23 brings us, but there's a lot of big stuff working on that program as well.
Yeah. Oh, let's see. I'm just kind of checking our notes here. I know right now one of the things that ties into this and all the events is just continuing to, I think you said it earlier, is build on the momentum that's been building from last year into this year, and new team members are helping with that. New board members. We technically added an event last year with Horsepower for Heroes kind of thing, right? So
right, yeah,
a lot of big things happening. So
yeah, momentum's a good word for 23. Yeah. I don't know if I use that for 22 or not.
If you did, I think momentum continues, right?
Right.
So,
well, momentum's big right now for us in that. So it's all the things you just said. We have 4 new board members. So some folks have rolled off after several years, and we really appreciate all the years of support that they've provided. Brought in 4 new board members. Hired Scott towards the end of 22 as a program and event manager.
Position that never existed before.
Right, brand new position. Yep. Transitioning executive directors. So Kelly Smith has left the Heroes Foundation towards the end of 22, doing interviews right now for the next executive director. Completed round 2 of interviews last night, as a matter of fact. Have some phenomenal candidates. I'm excited about them. So looking forward to that decision coming soon, and we'll do an episode with a new executive director and introduce you all to him or her. High-powered, high-quality folks who I see, continuing that momentum and actually accelerating it. Because what we need is I need someone to hand the baton to take this thing on and do it on a more active, more consistent basis. And so looking forward to that. And I think, as I mentioned at the top of the podcast, like we've already set records with our 2023 summit partners, which is phenomenal. We want to thank all those folks. And yet I still think we're just scratching the surface. I really do. Some new people who just are getting into the Heroes Foundation family and maybe aren't taking the immediate leap to the summit level. They're getting in on either a table for the gala or a foursome for the swing or the wine tasting or what have you. But I see as potential summit partners down the line. They're really going to get themselves educated on what Heroes is doing, and then they also see all the potential taking place. So as I said in these interviews for the executive director position, I talked about us being a 22-year startup. It sounds super weird, I know, but really, I kind of think that's where we are. And I think, in a way, the positive aspect of that is it excites people because they realize that we're just getting going, and we've proven ourselves over the last 22 years, but we're really just getting going, and there's so much more we can do. But it takes time, and it was a little more difficult for us because, I have a day job, and we, most of us didn't have 40, 50 hours a week to put into this. So now that we're building that team and reinvesting in ourselves, which I think most people understand, like, it takes money to make money.
Yep.
And operating this just like a business, it needs reinvestment to really be able to leapfrog and get where we want to go. So I'm excited about that. 2023 is going to be a big year with some of the new hires, some new faces, some fresh blood, some fresh ideas, and just more manpower is going to be, knock on wood, a huge thing for us.
Yeah. I think that covers most of the notes. I think one thing that just say is thanks to everyone that's watched, donated, come to events, helped out, volunteered. And there's a lot of people that put in time in the Heroes that to make this all happen. It's cool to see. It's cool to be at the events, and I know there's a lot of people working right now to make the start the gala in a couple weeks. Plugging that again. There's a lot of people working today to make that happen, and it's no small feat to make each of these things happen every year. So just a thank you to everyone that helps.
Yeah, as they say, it takes a village, and you guys have been phenomenal. Thank you, our village of podcast listeners and viewers, and for many of you who also happen to be corporate partners of ours or individual partners, attending the events or just donating in general. We really appreciate what you guys are doing to help us out. We're not here without you guys, so thank you for doing that. Please continue and then spread the word. That's the word of mouth. Typically trumps
referrals. Just
a lot of other marketing efforts. So, the more the merrier. And we look forward to seeing you guys at the events in 23. And again, if you have any ideas for us to improve the podcast, for connections to other guests, whatever. Hit us up in the comments, or you can send an email to contact us at heroesfoundation.org. Either way, let us know. We're happy to check out that information, and we appreciate any input you can provide.
Definitely.
All right. Well, until next time, don't forget, if you're checking us out on the Heroes Foundation YouTube channel and you haven't hit that subscription button, please do so.
Hit the bell too.
Free of charge. Hit that little notification bell so you can be alerted when new episodes drop. And we'll see you guys in 23. Oh, and don't forget, beat cancer.